I'm going to texture the apple in this demo. First of all, go to show and turn off the nubs curves. So we don't want them right here. So we have only the apple right here. Since it's going to be a cartoonic character in our shot, we are going to animate. So I'm going to start texturing him in a cartoonic way. This would not be more believable as an apple's texture, but the thing is that I'm going to give you an overview for a procedural texturing. How can you go and create a procedural texture inside the Maya? The first basic thing that you have to keep in mind that I'm going to start this character with few things. That first of all, as we have a stem here and it has been modeled in two pieces, so select both of them and press Ctrl G to group them and name them as stem. And after that, select this one and also select this group and press Ctrl G to make it a stem underscore leaf. So this way they both are now in a one group. What I'm going to do, select both of them, hold down the shift and select the apple, go to edit and create a parent-child combination. So this way, if we now move the apple, the both are going to move with the apple. So now what I'm going to do is to select the apple, as I'm going to select this one. But what if I now select this apple, and I'm going to have some problem and issue. Whatever kind of material I'm going to apply to this apple is going to be applied on both of them. I don't want this. What can I do right here? So what I can do right here is to go to Windows, and here is the option Hypergraph Hierarchy. So here you can understand how does the Maya treat your objects. If we come down here and we have the stem leaf group right here. So the main thing that we have here, if we name this object as apple, so we can see that we have the apple as a one main group. This is a hierarchy, and the other group that we have here is that stem leaf right here. If I click middle mouse and move this out of this group, so now what we don't have him as a child to this apple anymore. Rather, now if we take a look here, okay, I'm going to drag this right along here, the middle mouse selected, bring here, so we can see it's grouped in its own node. But if you come here and take a look at this one, so apple is now as an individual object. So first I'm gonna texture the apple, and after that I'm going to create the parent-child combination after that, once the apple has been textured. So what I'm going to do for the texture, right click onto apple and select assign new texture, and from the list you have to go and select lumber, and in the lumber you have so many options right here. I'm not going to explain them, right? But whatever I'm going to explain is the color option. The color means whatever color you're going to assign, it's going to be assigned to this apple. But I'm not going to assign a single color right here. So I'm going to assign a ramp of colors. So to assign a ramp of color, just click on this checker box and it will lead you to more options right here, and choose the noise from the list. Sorry, not the noise. Undo this one and come back to this, select this checker box and choose a ramp texture. And when you get select the ramp texture, you have some presets right here. If you come to this button right here and click this one and select rainbow and replace this. So this way you have a rainbow right here. And if you come to this viewport, click anywhere and press 6 from the keyboard, and you have the texture onto that object. What we have right here, we need to adjust some settings. Go to the options right here, and instead of having the type as VRAM, we are going to have it like the URAM. We want the texture to be leading this way, not around that apple. So it has some colors flowing down here. I'm liking the colors, and what I'm going to do is to change this color into the green. So select this color. You can even delete these channels, but now I'm going to explain everything right here. So select the last color and come here and change it to green color. So this way we have the apple starting with the red color from here and all the way down to the green color. So what I'm going to do is to make him look more believable, but in a cartoonic way. So select the red color, and in front of the red color we have a checker box right here. So go and select that one, and this will lead you to more options. And now we have to select the noise. What I'm going to do, if you see at the noise, it's going to create a noise channel right here. If you go back to your texture by just clicking this option, you can see we have the noise texture blending into the green one. But if you want to take a look at a detailed way of texture and what's going to happen right here, go to Windows and you have the option rendering editors, and here you find the option hypershade. Actually the hypershade is gonna deal with texture. You have everything in detail. So here we can see our texture. Select that one and you click this node, input connection, and now you go and select this down bar, and this way we have only these options. Bring them here, holding on the Alt and scrolling the middle mouse, you can just zoom into this texture, and once we are zoomed in, we can see that we have some channels, we have some connection the Maya is going to establish behind your textures. And what these channels are, we have a shader that is called the Lambert that is going to feed the texture or procedural texture into this apple. So what's happening right here, we have a ramp here that is feeding in, and here is the noise that is going to feed into the ramp, and ramp is going to feed feed options into the shader, and shader is the thing that is going to display onto this apple. So what we have here, that in a noise channel, if you see, we have another node connected, and that is place 2D text. So if you click this one, or rather if you click this one, you have them both right here in the attribute editor. There's a place 2D texture node. The same way you can either select from the hypershade, or if you select this noise, you can select it right from here. If you select that, and if I minimize this, you scroll down, here you have an option repeat UVs, and here's the option U and V, meaning X and Y. So what I'm going to change right here, you have a complete option of 1 here. I'm going to just type the 0.1 option here, and you're going to see these kind of effects we have in the apple, the lines just flowing downwards. So I have reduced the values and we have the effect, something like that. But what we have now, that before we had the red color right here, but now it's going to change it into the black and white. How can I bring that red back? If you come down to this hypershade, open up the hypershade again. I'm going to close this for now. Hypershade and select the noise, and here you select the noise option and come down here, and you have the option color balance. If you click this one, and here's the option color gain. If you select that one and choose red, and what's going to happen, you are again going to feed that red color into this apple. So before I go and change other options, other colors, first of all I'm going to work onto my ramp. So select the ramp right here and just minimize that one, something like that. So here if I go and move it to this way we can just create how much red color we're going to flow into. So if I bring it right here, the more reddish starting from, and if I select that one and I'm going to work onto that the same way, click onto this checker box, choose the noise, and the same thing I'm going to deal with the noise and going to do it 0.1 right into here. And what I'm going to do is to choose the color, change the color, and what I'm going to change the color into a little bit of orangish color, like that, something like that. And now we go, and now we have everything lined up like that. And I think this effect is looking more beautiful and more cartoonic as long as the apple texture is concerned. So I'm going to feed some values to give it more believable look. So what I'm going to do is to go and select your ramp right here, not the ramp, just go and select the noise. So in a noise channel, if you select the ramp here, select the ramp and come back to your first color right here, go to its options in the noise texture, and I'm going to work with some noise to give it more believable look right here. If you have the option here is a ratio option, if you increase this and see the changes here, it's gonna feed into more, the ratio is gonna increase into higher value. If you look at the ratio it change, we get some believable changes right into the texture. And we have the option of amplitude, and what is going to do is going to increase the contrast into apple, and even the threshold is going to smooth it in, or also this is going to smooth it in. I'm going to keep it a little harsh here. So this is what I'm going to get here, and for this color I'm also going to choose a ramp again, and in the ramp you got to select this color, the second one, come to its channel box, and I'm going to increase the height ratio again and smooth it down like that, and this way we have some colors like that. I'm not going to work with this green one down here, whether it's looking a little bit believable as far as the apple is concerned. But if you want to play more, and if you want to change, if you want to start from the greenish, you can play with the ramp. If you select the ramp right here, you can switch between the colors. If I bring it right here, if you bring it down here, we're going to bring change into our color. And if you feel like having this apple like that, you're going to get that. I think this is more beautiful as compared to the first one. So I'm feeling happy with this. The apple is starting with the greenish color and getting down to this color. Maybe you can feed more into that or less, whatever the way you want to feel with. I think this is looking more beautiful right here as far as the cartoonic look is concerned. So what I'm going to do after this text is done, go and save your scene as into another version. I already have a version saved. I'm going to replace that right. So what I'm going to do for these both of, so select, press the up arrow key, as we already know we have them in a group. How do we know that? Come to Windows and come to Hypergraph and Hierarchies right down here, and you can feel and you can see if you press the F, I have already selected that, so we have it as a group. If you select that, we have it as a group. So now I'm going to do is to click and a new texture, Lambert, and I'm going to give it a green color. Since the cartoonic thing, so I'm going to give it a green color, something like that, so that we can see that a leaf is stamped right here. I'm not going to apply a ramp or anything into that. I'm not going to be more perfect right into this demo. So once you are done here, what I'm going to do is to save this. Go and save the scene. So we have done our texturing right in this demo. The next demo we are going to create a controlled rig. We are going to rig this character to make it ready for animation.